So now we're ready to put it into a grid again of one of the flags. So I'm going to delete my test here and do it from scratch. So we have a shaded something, it needs to be called something, and then it's a reflag. Yep. And we need a size, we need some columns, and we need a list for the shadings. So I'll just do the inputs. And if we remember, this one needs to be a list for this to work, and this one needs to be a list. So it is good practice also to name it something with a list. But now you can see there is no doubt in our minds. Oops. I want this to be a list also. So there is no doubt in our minds because they both require some lists. So let's generate some 3-item lists. And why not go 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. And then we might try 2, 4, 6 with the shading. Just to have something to start off from. Right. So, we need a variable, as we've done before. This is actually exactly the same as we did the last time we did the flag, but there's no harm in getting it repeated. So we still need an edge, and we need the vert, which is the vertical distance that we need to offset. So we can set the edge to, yeah, we can prepare them. We need to multiply the size times, like we did the last time, the cosine of 30. Because it's a hexagon, it's got something to do with the distance. We did look into that more the other time. So if I then take the vertical and say we need our edge and to multiply it by, again, the cosine of the 30 degrees. Then if you recall, we still need our global. I have a global here called motif, and I am also, well, let's take one step at a time. The global, the motif, needs to be our whatever we want to show in the grid. And in this case, we want our box, but I need to ringify it. So otherwise I can't put it into the motif list. And the size we're going to pull from whatever we get here, and the S list is still the S list. Oops. And now we need to go, and that's a global go. And we've done this before, but I don't know if we actually, so this go is assuming that we are needing a list and we need a coordinate. So the X is going to be minus 100 and the Y is going to be 200. If we look into that global, you'll see that it assumes that we have a global called point, because that was what we did way back when. So if you don't have a global called point, you'll get an error message, and that's quite simple to fix. You just need to create a global called point. because that's the way it sort of moves internally inside the flag. And then we need our flag again, and the columns are the columns, and the row is the length, the little trick we've done before. And in this one it's called length of the column list. And the C distance we call edge in this time, and the row distance we call vert this time again. And now comes the funny thing about the indentation list. So it needs to be a list. That's one thing. And actually it has 2 entries, and then we're going to multiply -1, so we need a negative value of the edge divided by 2. So this is basically half the size, but negative. And it's actually a little measurement we've done before, and but there's no, actually I like it better when we do this. I like it when this one is first. Well, not that it matters at all. Like this. So let's see how far. Oh, whoa, we got there. So let's just verify. What if I wanted 3, 2, 3? Whee! Then you can see our indentation goes off because it assumes now that we want to go half. So let's hurry on and go back to, oops, to the 2, 3, 2. And then we can verify the, let's do something 12 or something. You can see the shader lists work very well. So this is our A# box put into our flag grid. And now we can start playing around with it. Cool.